going to go over how to add like fractions, word problems, how to subtract unlike fractions, and how to subtract mixed fractions. So first one, add a like fractions. We're going to go over number 1 and number 2 together. Like fractions means they have the same denominator. As you can see, number 1, both of these have a denominator of 10. So when you're adding these two, all you have to do is add the numerators and keep the denominator the same. And if you put it like this, you'll get 4 out of 10. And of course, you have to simplify. And when you simplify, you'll end up with 2/5 as your final answer. So always make sure to simplify. So number 2, 2/5 plus 1/5. They have a like common denominator of 5. So your final answer would have a denominator of 5. And 2 plus 1, you just add the numerator, is 3. So 3/5 is your final answer. Nothing to simplify, so that's just it. Now the second section is word problems, and we're just going to do number 1 together. So it says, at the hardware store, 1/3 of the nails are size 2D, 1/3 are size 4D. What fraction of the nails are neither size 2D or 4D? So neither means none. So 1/3 are 2D and 1/3 are 4D, then none of those would obviously have to be just 1/3. If you just think about it, but if we're going to do it algebraically, 1/3 plus 1/3, this is in relation to adding like fractions, is 2/3. So that means 2/3 are both size, 2/3 are size 2D and 4D. But what's not 2D or 4D is 1 minus 2/3, which we know is 1/3. That's how I got the answer. Now you can do the rest using the same thing. Now subtracting unlike fractions is the third section. It says subtract, and we're going to do number 1 together. So it is a little bit blurry, but I think you can read it a bit. It says 3/4 minus 4/13. So unlike the first section, we have unlike denominators. We have a denominator of a 4 and a 13. So what we need, we can't, if we have unlike denominators, we cannot just do 3 minus 4, which is -1, it's a negative answer, which also tells you you cannot do it that way. You cannot just subtract the numerators. You have to change the fraction so that they have the same denominators. So 3/4 has denominator of 4 and 4/13 has denominator 13. So to get into a common denominator, we need to do the least common multiple of 4 and 13. So if you try to do that, the least common multiple of 4 and 13 is just 13 times 4, which is, so you find that the least common multiple is 52. So to get 3/4 to have a common denominator of 52, you need to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 13. 13 times 3 is 39. Now for 13, to get it into a denominator of 52, we need to multiply by 4 to both the numerator and denominator. The numerator will become 16 out of 52. So then, when you rewrite this, it would be 39 over 52 minus 16 over 52. From here, now that we have a common denominator, our final answer will have a common denominator of 52, and we'll do 39 minus 16. 9 minus 6 is 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. So it'll be 23. Now the thing is, 23 times 2 is, wait, no, that's it. So 23 over 52 is your final answer for number 1. So we're also going to do number 10 together. 1/3 minus 1/5. Now again, they have unlike denominators. So the least common multiple of 3 and 5 is 15. So we're going to change 1/3 to have a denominator of 15. So to do that, you need to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 5. Your numerator becomes 5. Now 1/5, we're going to get in to have a denominator of 15. So we're going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by 3. So your new numerator is 3. So from here, we can do 5/15 minus 3/15, which is 2/15. So if you had just subtracted this without caring about the denominator, you would have got to 1 minus 1, which is 0, over 3 minus 5 is 2. So you cannot do that, obviously, because 3 minus 5. You cannot just multiply it out like that. You need to have a common denominator. Now the last section is subtracting mixed fractions. So we're going to go over number 4 together right now. So we have 9, 212 minus 856. So the way I do this is separate the whole number and the fraction itself. So we're going to do 212 minus 56. Now this is similar to the previous section we just went over. So we're going to have a common denominator of 12 because the LCM of 6 and 12 is 12. So 212 already has a denominator of 12, so we're going to change only 56 to have a denominator of 12. So 6 and 2, we're going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2 to get 10 over 12. Now 2 over 12 minus 10 over 12, we cannot do that because we obviously get a negative number. But the thing is, 212 comes from 9 to 12. So it's going to be kind of like grouping. We're going to take the 1 from the whole number. So we're going to change 9 to an 8. And that 1 is going to be added into 212. So what's happening right now is 212 plus 1. So we took the 1 from the 9 and changed it to an 8. And we moved the 1 to the fraction over here. So 212 receives the 1 that we took away from the 9. So 212 plus 1. So to do that, we can do 212 plus 12 over 12, because 12 over 12 is the same thing as 1. 2 over 12 plus 12 over 12 equals 14 over 12. Now we can do 14 over 12 minus 10 over 12, which is 4 over 12, which can be rewritten as 1/3 if you simplify it. So 8 minus 8 is just 0, and the 1/3 goes to, so 1/3 is your final answer. So we're going to do another problem. Let's do number 11. 7 3/4 minus 6 2/3. So I'm going to separate again. So 3/4 minus 2/3. Now I'm going to change the denominator to have an like the denominator of 12. So 3/4 is going to change to, so we're going to multiply both numerator and denominator by 3. So it'll be 9 over 12. 2/3 is going to change into 8 over 12. Now this one I can just subtract. If the first one happened less than the second one, then we would do grouping, but it is not the case over here. So 9 minus 8 is 1 over 12. So just the fraction itself is 1 over 12, 7 minus 6 is 1. So 11, your final answer should be 1 and 1/12. And that's it for today.